Hey everybody, what's up? What is going on? Happy Tuesday. Beginning of the weekend for many people because of Labor Day. And hopefully, dear Lord, I hope this worked. I know we're live on YouTube. Hey, we're actually live on Odyssey. Sweet. Awesome. Good. Hey, Chaos Smash, what's up? This is just Coke, by the way. I do have rum. Theoretically, I should get it, but we're going to hold off. But anywho, hopefully you guys had a good Labor Day weekend. Mine was really rainy. The Domina dev got removed from Steam for being transphobic. The Domina dev? Who's the Domina dev? We're jumping back and forth between soda and water. Anywho, found some stuff that I thought was funny that we have set up here. So I figured we'd go jump on ahead and look into a little bit more. Wait, why did all of a sudden it... What? That's weird. Huh. All of a sudden it just turned... It's weird that it's like going outside its boundary. Well, in any case, that just seems really weird that it would do that. The creator of Dominia, it's a game he created, a random Steam game about gladiators. He had a full meltdown on Twitter before being banned. I mean, yeah. And I'm sure it was for a good reason. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll start off with what Elon had to say. Apparently, getting a lot of people salty since he pretty much just made his one statement just ripped the new Lord of the Rings of Power. The report is on Bounding Into Comics. Never go full rage on Twitter. We might check into that. Let's see. Man, I need more screens. Especially if I'm trying to multi-stream too. Wait, can I just drag that? And there we go. I can do this. See, but then that sucks. I don't get why all of a sudden. Anyway, that's better than what it was. Anywho, so Elon Musk roasts the Lord of the Rings of Power, by pretty much stating Tolkien is turning in his grave. Ouch. Ouch, the sting. So billionaire Elon Musk, I like how it had to state that he was a billionaire, recently roasted Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings of Power, specifically taking issue with how the show portrays male characters. Must have been a thread, because all I saw was just, Tolkien's rolling over in his grave. Musk took to Twitter where he first wrote, Tolkien is turning in his grave. And there's the... I don't know if this is like an up-to-date feed, but a lot of people are agreeing. Of course, Twitter gets angry at Musk. He follows up that writing He followed that up, writing almost every male character so far is a coward, a jerk, or both. Only Galadriel is brave, smart, and nice. Now I didn't see this one. I just saw that he just stated that Tolkien's rolling over in his grave. So Musk would also respond to a Twitter user sharing a Daily Wire asserting that those criticizing the Rings of Power are racist. Oh, well, of course they are. He wrote, those who claim any criticism. Oh, I already read that. And then we've got Phantom of Music at 69 with all this other crap. Painful to watch. Viewers hate Lord of the Rings. Okay, so I guess he quoted that. Those who claim any criticism. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so he pretty much responded by saying those who claim any criticism of Rings of Power means you're racist or outing themselves as closet racist. And that's pretty much what I've been saying forever. Because usually the people who project the hardest are the ones who are actually the most terrible people. And in order to get to that sort of logical mindset, you have to analyze everything by, status, race, gender, all that bullshit. And then analyze it based on that. So Musk isn't alone in his criticism of the show. It currently has an abysmal 39% average audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The average rating is 2.4 out of 5 from 20,083. I like it. And 83 ratings, not like 100 or something. I like how it's just a rando 83. Friend of mine loves Lord of the Rings, and she thinks Rings of Power is trash. Yeah, but they probably hate The Hobbit too. I thought it was just okay. Hey, Nico, what's up? Howdy. We are actually live. I figured out what was wrong on Odyssey's end. So we are over on Odyssey, and also follow me on Rumble as well, because I would like to multi-stream on Rumble as well. However, I forgot Rumble has it to where in order to stream, you either have to pay for a membership plan or at least have 100 followers over there. So me being a cheap person, I need 100 followers over there, and then I can stream. I've streamed over there before too, because I have paid for the membership before. It's not terrible, but there's some stuff that they need to fix on. So the show has a significantly higher user rating on IMDb with a weighted average of 6.8 from 108,024 users. The arithmetic mean 6.3 with a median of 8. The scores are widely popularizing with 34,924 users, giving the show a perfect 10 out of 10. Virtually impossible. I am sorry. Nothing is a perfect 10 out of 10. Unless, of course, it's Jesus. That's just a straight up fucking lie right there. And 26,505 users give it the worst possible score, 1 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, even 1 out of 10, like, is highly unreasonable as well. Like, you can have like a 2 or a 3. I mean, it's not rare that 1 will be there. Nico says I don't have Rumble. Wait, but why would you pay for a membership? I mean, I quickly looked at it. It has to do with storage spaces and all that stuff. My big thing is I wanted to see what the reach was on Rumble, which when it comes to all tech and YouTube being a bunch of censoring cucks, you got to have you have to branch out regardless. It's even worth considering a Rumble account, says Rod. Yeah, I think so. Because YouTube's starting to crack down on like people and not telling the reason why. So, you always want to branch out. Nico says, time to make 99 new Hotmail accounts. Yeah, that's right. Chaos Smash says, I'll stick with Odyssey for now. Very cool. And you might try Rumble, but YouTube does it for free. Well, technically, YouTube has premium. And actually making money on YouTube, that premium stuff does kind of play as. You do realize copyright law transcends every platform, right? Well, this has nothing to do with copyright law. First of all, I don't know where you're pulling that out. Copyright law and censorship are two totally different things. Anywho, the demographic data shows that males are given the show worse reviews compared to females, with that with the average score for male a 6.6. Oh, that's nice. While females are giving it a 7.4. Let me know when Rumble is more engaging like Twitch and still based. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if we're going to be going off of what's based, Rumble, I'm sure, is pretty based. My big thing is censorship. You should be able to say whatever you should be able. Well, yeah, you pretty much should be able to say whatever you want while following the guidelines of the site, and not get censored because you might believe in wrong thing. There isn't much disparity among age. However, individuals under the age of 18 gave it a 7.3 compared to those 18 between 29. Censorship is at work, giving it a 6.9, and the two age groups above 30, both giving the show an average of 6.5. So here's a chart right here. Pretty cool. So IMDb, which is an Amazon-owned website. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious, too. Because I believe they also did it to where it has to be 72 hours before you can rate the show. Because they're just saying it's getting bombed. Of course, females give it a 7.4. Thank God my friend is smart for a woman, but censorship should be a thing when it's actually needed. I mean, that goes down a whole rabbit hole, personally. Who's to determine what's, reality is harsh. Get over it. I mean, how long? To me, it's just how long are we going to keep stretching it? Because censorship wasn't a huge deal. Then Mortal Kombat came out, and then they made video game censorship. And some parents who probably didn't watch their children or know what game they're buying got pissed off. Which is an Amazon-owned website. Appears to be the diamond in the rough when it comes to Rings of Powers reviews. I'll bet even a weighted average score of 6.8 isn't the shiniest of diamonds. So the Metacritic user scores an abysmal 2.5 from 2,085 ratings. There are 398 positive reviews, 88 mixed reviews, and a whopping 1,599 negative views. Reality when someone swings a bag of bricks at your head. What situation is that? Are you asking me or other people? I mean, obviously with kids, we gotta watch out for what kids are being exposed to. First of all, but that's also part of the parents' responsibility as well. All right, so not only does Musk's opinion appear to align with the most individuals on these review sites, but it also aligns with diehard The Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien fans. The One Ring describes the series' first episode saying it's like popping a pimple. There's something under there somewhere, and you got to squeeze hard to get it out, but it's painful until it finally comes out. Woo! That's parents' responsibility, not government's responsibility. Exactly. I mean, I've already said it. The government needs to be the GIMP from Pulp Fiction in the sense of it's shoved in a box, and when we need it to do a service or something for us, we pull it out, we tell it, what do we need to do? It does its thing, and then you shove it back into the box and tell it to shut up until we need it again. He would also state, I don't think I can find that is remotely token in this. Wait a minute. He would also state, I don't think I can find anything that is remotely Tolkien in this. Galadriel is a completely different character. She's out for revenge, vengeance for her brother. Gil-galad and Elrond apparently are plotting against her in order to get her out of the way. Really? She's no longer necessary here. Who needs Galadriel? She's only been hunting Sauron for hundreds of years. Like get her out of the way. Then you got that. I don't know what is. I don't even know who that is. The YouTuber then noted, so what does this show mostly suffer from? Well, I think it suffers from one major part of writing is that it's doing a lot of telling and not showing. It has statements that complain the entire story without ever any real conflict. I think the only conflict we got in the whole show was the manufactured snow troll at the beginning. Oh yeah, I saw that. I mean, it's all an AI's doing. The parents' responsibilities are getting the belt. The government has no involvement in YouTube's policy as far as censorship goes. Yeah, but YouTube's AI, YouTube's algorithm is hot garbage and it's clearly biased because it supports people who flag content, not the creator. Let's see. So what does this show mostly? I already read that. The snow troll in the beginning, but she takes out the snow troll without any difficulty at all. Forgot that L there, whatsoever. The second conflict is actually with the bar fight. He continued. Oh, there's a bar fight. That's funny. The almost bar fight between Arandir and a couple of humans down there in Tirharad, but it doesn't come to anything. There is no conflict. Oh my gosh. Is the bar fight based on like some race sort of thing? Oh, we don't want you stinking elves in here. YouTuber George, yeah, whatever, bluntly stated, do you know why so many people are criticizing Amazon Prime's Ring of Power? Because it's written in hot garbage. Because there's nothing in there for the fans to point to the screen and go, wow, look at that. That's from the books. That's it. It's simple. There's no token in it. Hey, that's a very well put statement. So the amount of negative reviews might be a concern for Amazon, given the outlet announced via a press release that the show was the biggest premiere in history of Prime Video, with the show attracting more than 25 million global viewers on its first day. But why did they watch it? Did they watch it because they wanted to see the clown circus getting burned down? Maybe. A lot of people might have watched the show, but they were thoroughly unimpressed and did not like it. It'll be interesting to see if that dissatisfaction turns into people actually tuning out or if they will continue to watch what they seemingly view as a train wreck. There's your answer right there. Because a lot of people were pretty sure it was going to be in train wreck, and it was. So, what do you make of Musk's blunt and brief roast of the Prime videos, the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power? I thought it was funny as hell because that's what people have been saying all along. You literally got all of Token's notes and then just go, nope, we got to fix it. It's our show now. 25 million global viewers, me. Man, that is some bullshit. Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't care about what the reason behind of them watching was. It's just, we had 25 million people watching. Oh, good job. Very good. I theoretically have like 9.7 K subscribers on YouTube. Is 9.7K watching right now? No. What's the motivation behind it? All right, so there you go. Pretty funny. I did see that troll fight, by the way. Very, very women empowering, that's for sure. Whoops. Man, I need to get better lighting and a camera too. That fuzziness is garbage. All right. So that was pretty much the funny thing I saw. Elon just pretty much speaking what everyone else is. So a couple cool new things that I found as well is an interview with the Armored Fantasia and Penny Blood Kickstarter games that we checked out not too long ago. And we'll go ahead and we'll read that one because that seems pretty cool. So let's pull this up. This Power K Greg show should be called Greg Speaking Facts. Eh. There are people who can express my thoughts and ideas a lot better than I can as well. I have no problem saying when something's wrong, but people are more uh, they are more skilled at expressing vocabulary than I am. But we're always trying to look at it. It hurts looking at how high your sub count is, and there's only 3 people watching. And honestly, the reason my sub count is so high is the best of Mike Tyson mysteries, the best of Pigeon series, which is fine. I mean, I won't turn away the fact that I was blessed to have that explode like it did. But after a while, YouTube made it clear that that's not what they like. They demonetized the channel, so I had to get rid of it. C'est la vie. We're working on it. Okay. So Armored Fantasia and Penny Blood doubled Kickstarter big 2-part interview with Akifumi Kaneko and Matsuzo Machida. Very cool. And I did enjoy both gameplay of the shown gameplay. Looks dope. And I guess this is Niche Gamers' actual interview. So very cool. So we had the wonderful opportunity to interview the teams on Armored Fantasia. Or is it Fantasia? Whatever. And Penny Blood spiritual successors from both Wild Arms series creator Akifumi Kaneko and Shadow Hearts series creator Matsuzo Machida. Both Armored Fantasia and Penny Blood are currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. Oh, I should look into that as well, by the way, in a double crowdfunding campaign. You can read more about that here in our report. The initial funding goal has been met, but there's a bunch of stretch goals to be reached. Fantasia. That's how I always pronounced it from the past. Without further ado, here are interviews from both Armed Fantasia and Penny Blood creators. Niche Gamers, how are Armed Fantasia and To the End of the Wilderness a spiritual successor to Wild Arms? What elements will fans recognize and enjoy in the new title? So none of the story or characters from the Wild Arms series will be carried over. Oh, that's cool. However, the setting of a wilderness on the brink of destruction and the story that is a mix of Western and fantasy will be similar. I would say my personal taste and style as a game designer will also be carried over throughout the story as well. Why Kickstarter? How long have you / the team been trying to make this happen? We simply wanted to make the kind of game we wanted to make. If we wanted to team up with a publisher, they would never let a plan with a 90s style classic JRPG system in it come to life. Look at that. See? Kaneko even knows that publishers, producers, and stuff like that, they will demand that whatever story you're trying to tell needs to fit their vision because they are the ones that are providing the money. And that's bullshit because a lot of good writing gets just shitted on because there has to be a specific message that is the producers to be shown in whatever it is he's funding to get created. Kind of like the live action Yu Yu Hakusho, when the creator said that he was, pretty much stated that the producer has a specific vision, and that brings up red flags for me. So plus we believe that there were enough fans out there who wanted this kind of JRPG. Oh, there's plenty of fans out there. That's why we decided to go to Kickstarter. That part of the idea goes back a while, but the actual project started about a year or so ago. What makes the protagonist Ingram a pathfinder? How is this new class of adventurer similar and yet different to the drifters from Wild Arms? This is simply a difference in how the translator chose to express the word. In Japanese, we use the term, oh, here we go, watari dori. Watari dori. Working on my Japanese. Literally, migrator, a migrator bird. This term was used in all Wild Arm games as well. It means to evoke an image of an adventurer who doesn't live in any one place, who lives free like a bird. So kind of like a Ronin or a Rurouni Kenshin. 60 years ago, there was a main character in a Japanese movie that was called Watatori or Watari Dori. Watari Dori. He was a vagabond who solved the problems of the town he visited and then would go back on his journey. Sort of like the Western movie Shane. That's what I had in mind when choosing the name. The translation of Pathfinder this time around has a very romantic but powerful, reassuring feel to it. I'm quite fond of it. Oh, that's cool. I do like the name Pathfinder. It's pretty dope. This is probably a loaded, pun intended question. What are your favorite guns or style of guns? I'm a big fan of revolvers. Dude, revolvers are baller. How they look, how the cylinder spins around, the hammer structure, it's all so cool. Of course, they're less accurate than an automatic, and there's lots of problems with them, but that's what makes them cool. Actually, their revolvers are starting to get really good. Just depends on which ones you're grabbing. So Wild Arms was a post-apocalyptic Western story. Without spoiling anything, what can fans expect from the story in Armed Fantasia? Are there multiple endings, etc.? There are some similarities between samurai and Western movies. It's a business first, Greg. They go with what makes the most money. I mean, some people refuse whatever amount of money they give as long as it's as their creation is seen fit. Armored Fantasia isn't an open world game. Well, Fantasia. That's going to be, but now my OCD is kicking in, and that word is pissing me off. Armored Fantasia isn't an open world game, but it's a story driven JRPG filled with my personal taste that I am very proud of. I feel like people will enjoy the grand story and the hardships and anguish the characters go through. But even more than that, I think people will enjoy watching the character grow. There's definitely a reason the game is set in the wilderness, the truth and hidden secrets behind what happened 1,000 years ago. The 6 characters that try to unravel the mysteries of the gigantic world. That's Armed Fantasia. Unfortunately, there aren't multiple endings planned. We will do our best to make sure that the ending we have for you is the best ending we can make, though. Oh, that's cool. I'm iffy when it comes to like multiple endings in games. Not so much to where it's like you're towards the end and then there's like specific paths that are clearly obvious that you can just reload and then play again. But when you have to play the whole entire game back, I know I struggle with that every now and then, like Silent Hill sort of thing. What kind of media, films, and such influenced Wild Arms and now Armed Fantasia? There's a lot of influence from the old Wild West shows I watched as a kid, and not necessarily Hollywood's version of the Wild West, but rather that of Italy's spaghetti westerns. Yeah, and westerns from other countries. Really depends on the relationship the creator has with the producer. I believe in business. I believe in business, but only when it's legit and cares about the fans. If it's corrupt like today's business, then it's a path of self-destruction. Stallone cared about Rocky when he first wrote it and literally could have made money to like set himself up for the rest of his life right then and there, but he refused to sign on to it because he said, no, I want to direct it. And then later on said, I want to either later on or right away said, I want to film in it. And then finally the producers were like, all right, you have X amount of days to make this. And if it doesn't work, you're done and you're not getting anything. And he said, sure. And then Rocky became one of the greatest movies of all time. And Rocky and Sylvester Stallone didn't compromise. There's a lot of influence from the old Wild West. Oh, I already read that. I think that's where I got the idea of combining the wilderness with fantasy elements. And of course, as you can see, Japanese manga, anime, and pop culture play a big part as well. I love them all, and I have a big fan, and I've been a big fan since I was a kid. What else? I love the main characters from American comics, the ones from way back before the ones we know today in the big successful movies. Oh. Oh man, there's a jab right there. Before the ones we know today, because they fucking suck. But from about 40 years ago, I've always looked up to those kind of characters. Dude, Kaneko is awesome. That tickled me. I've always taken all of those things and blended them together, and that's how I came up with the Wild Arms and Armed Fantasia. Japanese people are blunt when it comes to the truth. Oh, yeah. They coming in hot and just driving that knife in deep. That cold steel blade into the heart. While arms changed definition in Wild Arms, they returned in Armed Fantasia. I expect details are scant to avoid spoilers, but how common are they? Are there multiple types? Kaneko, arms are developed and created by an organization that has tried to control the world. They're called the Order of the Sacred Key, but the actual origin of them is much older, about 1,000 years old. The world of the game is infested with powerful monsters known as anomalies. So people use arms to protect themselves from various threats, including anomalies. So arms aren't anything special. If you got the money and parts, anyone can get their hands on one. However, that's where one of the biggest secrets in the story lies. As far as how many types there are, each of the 6 main characters will use a different arm type. So it won't just be guns. We hope you'll all enjoy the various types there are. Dude, I'm excited. If he already had money to retire, that doesn't mean anything. He didn't have money to retire. That's the point. Is that the studio said, we want to buy this from you, and gave him a price to where he probably could have retired right then and there. And Stallone, who was broke at the time, said, no, I want to see my creation brought to life by me. And then he made more money than, I believe he made more money than what they offered him. Are there any particular Cowboys or Wild West heroes, characters that particularly inspire you and in these games? Oh, please say Clint Eastwood. Of course, they're lonely but passionate heroes. Even as far as I was from their roots, watching them overcome hardships had a big influence on me. The passion I felt for them is in every one of the characters in Armed Fantasia. The world map in Armed Fantasia is described as gigantic, and one players can explore. Just how big are we talking? Kaneko. The world map is going to be gigantic. I want it to be so big that there isn't a word to express how big it is. Damn. Chaos Meshes. I love this story. I'm liking this interview so far too. Really cool. So, how populated with content is the world? Is it more of a traditional JRPG with town hubs scattered throughout, or more of a Western RPG teeming with dungeons, side quests, and etc.? We're developing the game as a story-driven JRPG, so first we want to make sure that the main story is filled with as much content as possible, or as we can fit. However, since this is a game and not an anime or manga, it is definitely important that the player be able to take detours and find side quests to enjoy. Thank you. Not so much about that one, but I love story-driven JRPGs. Where kind of like it reminds me of Chrono Trigger. Like Chrono Trigger was very story driven and kind of straightforward, and you leveled up as you go, but it was equal enough to where you didn't have to sidetrack to try to level up. Sadly, no mention of Clint Eastwood or the Duke. Alas. Not all franchises have the same return on investment. Even if it was a success, it also just as easily could be a failure. It happens. It didn't, but how many projects get buried before making it to it? Man, Rod, you're negative Nancy. However, since this is a game and not an anime or manga, it is definitely important that the player be able to take the detours, like I stated, and find side quests to enjoy. The amount of dungeons and side quests that we can put in the game definitely depends on how much money we can make during the crowdfunding phase. So please consider supporting the campaign. Uh, Very smooth plugin right there. I like that. Wild Arms had an iconic soundtrack. You can hear its influence already in Armed Fantasia. How varied of a soundtrack can fans expect from Michiko-san and Naruyasu-san? I hope when this game comes out, you do a run through all the Wild Arms games before you get to Armed Fantasia. Oh yes, I do plan on playing the Wild Arms series for sure. See, this is the thing. Like I said before, a lot of games in my backlog are a variant of RPG of some kind for some weird reason. Well, not weird reason. I've always felt that I could never get into JRPGs just because to me they were so long. And so that's why I'm very like hack and slash and third person genre sort of games. But Zach and then other friends always tell me to try to play those games. I'm not negative at all, bro. I'm just challenging your perspective because you are twisting certain facts. Oh my gosh, dude. I just respectfully disagreeing. I straight up just gave you an example on how someone who didn't compromise their story and said no to the big sum of money just to sell a script and be done with it. And then you said, well, yeah, that's just a one-time scenario, but in the end and stuff. Oh my gosh, man. Not to mention, I know a lot of people who are starting up their own projects are being very successful and didn't compromise with producers or anything. Wild Arms Archer Cold F is a remake of the first game. Yeah, I checked that one out. Also, me typing remake for an old game feels weird compared to the today's remake. Oh no, I wouldn't play that one. I would play the original. I would say we're expecting there to be around 50 tracks or so in the game. Wow. But we feel that compared to past JRPGs, especially the Wild Arms series, that 50 tracks may not be enough. There you go. Donald Smith, artistic integrity means nothing. Now grind for my dollars. So that's another thing that could change based on the crowdfunding phase. Please consider supporting the campaign. So it's been some time since your team worked together on a title like this. Were there any challenges of new approaches taken with development now? It actually hasn't been that long since I worked with the team. During the last 15 years, I haven't been away from game development. I simply haven't made any Wild Arm games. I actually had a time where I helped develop versus action games. And in my case, I also work as a scenario writer for anime. So I suppose during that time, maybe I got away from game development for a bit. But this time around, we've got the great people at B Tribe working with us, and they're an amazing development team. So I suppose during, let's see. So I feel development will go very smoothly, but with little to no problem. So doing game development there through crowdfunding is a first for me, though. Every day I keep discovering new things. There might be hardships or confusion things along, or confusing things along the way. But thanks to our support team, we're getting it through it. Final request: can you share a message to your fans? Hello, everyone. I'm Armored Fantasia's concept leader, Kaneko. Through the chance of meeting a new friend and a coincidental conversation, we have decided to make a new JRPG set in the wilderness for the first time in 15 years. And we're doing it through crowdfunding without the instructions of a publisher to help us. Making Armed Fantasia is a big dream of mine, but we need funding in order to create it. If any of you out there are interested in the title, please consider supporting the campaign. Let's develop a game with a grand story together, shall we? Very cool. I loved reading about that. I mean, being successful is often than not being compared to having a sold amount. Is it huge? I don't agree with that perspective, but that's what it is. I don't know what that first sentence meant. I mean, I literally gave you an example about Rocky, and literally this crowdfunding is happening. And not to mention other crowdfundings, Rod, and you're trying to say that that's not how this works, as if it's like each one's a fluke if it becomes successful. I hope this game becomes so successful that it gets a manga and possibly an anime. What am I hearing? The Mars movie crowdfunding has been great. I haven't heard of the Mars movie. All right, so next is Pennyblood. So, how is Pennyblood a spiritual successor to Shadow Hearts? What elements will fans recognize and enjoy in the new title? So, and then this is with Matsuzo Machida. First would have to be the world building, where we were trying. I think that's supposed to be where we. Oh, excuse me. Never mind. Where we try to shine a spotlight on the darkness of modern history. Another would have to be the fact that it's an RPG with love, tears, and laughter in it. The main story will be serious, but the characters will each have their own comical scenes that showcase their uniqueness. So why Kickstarter? How long have you and the team been trying to make this happen? I decided to try Kickstarter after being influenced by Kaneko-san from the Armed Fantasia team. His passion awakened my spirit of adventure, and I need to accept this challenge. The game is again set in the early 20th century. Does Machida-san have a fascination with this time period style? How has it influenced his work? I've always been very interested in the world of 100 years ago, because while the same countries exist in our time period, their situations and relationships have greatly changed. It makes our world feel like a completely different planet, which makes an appealing setting for entertainment. Pennyblood returns to Europe and Asia, but the United States as well. How large of a world can players expect, and how much detail in each region? The fact that Pennyblood takes place in a 20th century New York feels perfect. There's an element of the game that will largely depend on how successful the Kickstarter is. If possible, I like to make the world as vast as possible and both scare and move the players as much as possible. I get a bit of a Lovecraft vibe from Pennyblood, just like Shadow Hearts. What kind of cosmic horror influence can we expect in the game's story? I've been deeply influenced by Lovecraft ever since I was little. His detailed, somber sentences were hard for the 10-year-old me to understand, but I was able to decipher his world through mustering up all the imagination I could. The many traumas I gained from that also lurk within Pennyblood. I mean, I could give you 1,000 failures, but that does not mean. But does that mean my point is more valid? Donald Smith, let's start with your first 10, then 100, then full 1,000. I got time. The creatures of Innsmouth, the first time I encountered them was in a novel by Kaoru Kurimoto called Makai Suikoden. Creepy fish people appear in that novel, and learning that the idea had come from the shadow over Innsmouth is what makes me seek out the original and get into Lovecraft. Ouch. Rod is starting to sound like lofty. I don't like where this is going. Okay. Another Lovecraftian theme is losing your sanity. Insanity. That's an understatement right there. I feel like I'm losing it every day. Insanity points are back, baby. I need my sanity points back. Can you talk about the system and how it affects players and their journey? Sanity points are unique in Penny Blood in that players don't lose control even after they go berserk during battles. When characters lose their sanity, they gain attack boosts and become able to use new skills that they can't use when sane. I'll just finish by saying I really hope everyone gets to do their dream projects. With that being said, if the producer has the final say, that's just it, and I'll shut up. You can continue your echo chamber. I mean, you gave example. I gave an example, and then you said, "Well, this is just how it is." And I said, "Well, I just gave you examples." It's like, "Well, I can give examples too." The only difference is that I pretty much stated that if you don't want to compromise, don't compromise. I mean, if a I think people who don't sell out to producers and stuff really know that gamble that they may not make their dream project, but there are people out there who does it. So my logic is what's stopping you from trying to it, and it's becoming, and the indie project is like exploding nowadays too. So this idea of having to go to producer to get your foot in the door isn't really existing anymore. It's dying because people are just creating their space themselves. So sanity points are unique in Penny Blood and I already read that. It's risky though. Going berserk also leaves characters wide open and prevents them from defending or escaping. We call this system of dancing between the line of sanity and madness, the malaise of madness, or melees, as some people pronounce it. In Penny Blood, the true battle begins once you go berserk. Ooh. I wish he was like set up in more of I wish he was wearing more of like those stereotypical detective outfits. That'd be awesome. I just came for a normal stream and this shit is happening in chat. It is what it is. You ever on Twitch anymore? I multi-stream on Twitch. I've been multi-streaming Pokemon White too. Protagonist Matthew seems like an anti-hero. You're not on now? Oh, this show I don't stream on Twitch. Not this one. Game streaming I'll be on both YouTube and Twitch. This show I do not because Twitch. I mean, Twitch is no better than YouTube. Did people wear trench coats in the 20th century? They should. Wear that nice duster. So he seems like an anti-hero or a tortured soul. Does this affect how he plays or gameplay? Luke Orlando. Hey, what's up? Yes, Matthew has the power to use fusion. Oh, like Kid Trunks and Goten. But he also has normal emotions just like we do. Oh. He has his own weaknesses and mental scars. You want to see these scars? And there will be enemies in Penny Blood who try to make use of those weaknesses. Through the gameplay, the player will need to explore Matthew's mind and acquire new fusion monsters so that Matthew can gain the power to stand up to these foes. Whose idea was it to make the combat ring in the original Soul Hearts? Is the cycle signal battle system similar or similar? I'm the one who came up with the idea for the Judgment Ring. My old publisher currently owns the patent to it, but in Japan, my name is listed as the inventor of the patent. Oh, dude. Nice. I also came up with the idea for the Psycho Sigil this time around as well. Both systems control similarly. Man, there's a stumbling word, but they're actually quite different. The Psycho Sigil isn't just a circle. It's not just a circle, folks. It's quite different. Gives me the ability to express things in new ways of playing that I couldn't before. I'm thinking of showing off one of its possibilities soon with the Link combo system. So the fusion concept returns in Penny Blood, where Matthew can transform and fight monsters. How have the fusion mechanics concepts changed or been refined? I designed fusion monsters based on demons in my previous game, but for Penny Blood, I went for knights in order to depict the sacred nature of heroes of legend. There aren't just knights, though. They're ghost knights. When I try and donate on Twitch, it's 404s. I'll catch you on there next time. Oh, the Streamlab link? Dude, it's been a while since I updated those. But if you're like talking about subbing, I'm not a partner, or not a partner. I'm not affiliate at the moment. We'll get on it, son. I mean, I have a donation stuffs in in like my description. Let me see. Now I'm curious. You got me side tapped. Tips. Oh, stream elements. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, that's really weird. Damn you, stream elements. I mean, I will hate to say it that, you know, we do have super chats. But I'll fix that donation page though at the time. Obviously, I would want people to donate however they wish. And, you know, if people don't want to do super chats, that's fine. All right, so again, they're not just knights, they're ghost knights. I really put a lot of work into their design. They're meant to be dark ghost knights who have equal helping of style and creepiness. Avoiding spoilers, how dark can fans expect the story in Penny Blood to get? Well, in Penny Blood, I intended to pick both psychological fear that stems from the mysteries behind the incidents, as well as visual fear that stems from the grotesque. Elements of these things will assault Matthew throughout the story. Now I have a stream playing in the background. I mean, if it's playing, that's the past stream. So as you play, I want to make you say things like, "Wait, I think I just saw something back there," or "What did I just hear just now?" It's been some time since your team worked together on the title like this. Were there any challenges or new approaches taken with development now? The double Kickstarter campaign is a massive new challenge for me. This time, I don't want to listen to any specific person. Oof. I just want to make what we want to make. Boom. Driving that knife in deeper. My team and I believe that what the fans really want is a game full of all things we're passionate about. Wow. I agree. Amazing. Amazing on how you think that you know, when one listens to the fans as opposed to not a wait, I hope you check Nishiban's Elden Rings and Lucky Star report. I mean, I saw them. It wasn't on the docket, but I suppose I can venture on over there. So a final request, can you share a message to your fans? The double Kickstarter campaign is a big challenge I've taken on, along with Kaneko-san from Armored Fantasia. It's a difficult but amazing adventure that my team and I have embarked upon. Every day we're enjoying our work as well as the excitement that comes from something like this. Please give us your support so that both teams can create an amazing game. Also, Machida has stolen my heart and dollars. Yeah, I'll definitely have to. I'm definitely going to check this out. So yeah, Armed Fantasia and Penny Blood. I'm sure you just type it in Google and it'll bring up the Kickstarter. So definitely check that out. So dope, nice. How's about that? And I did have something else on the docket, just because with YouTube titles and stuff like that, you can only fit so much in. But this is one that I thought was very interesting that we could check out. Samurai versus Knights. You know it, baby. But new God of War Ragnarok gameplay has been revealed. So the Norse sequel will let players visit all of the 9 realms. So new God of War Ragnarok gameplay video reveals Dwarven realm. Oh gosh. Svartalfheim? Svartalfheim? I don't know. That's a toughie. The Game Informer video below, Game Informer, provides some insight into how Sony Santa Monica's level designers brought the realm to life for their upcoming sequel. So while 2018's God of War includes 6 of the 9 realms in Norse mythology, Ragnarok will let players visit them all. Oh no, not God of War. I got a bad feeling about this. So here's the video. So we'll go ahead and play it.
Game Informer here. In God of War 2018, we traversed Midgard and its massive Lake of the Nine, Alfheim, home to light and dark elves, Helheim, the underworld, alongside Jotunheim, the land of giants, and even Niflheim and Muspelheim, which pushed players' skills to the limit with combat trials. Sadly, Odin barred access to the remaining realms, but director Eric Williams told me we'll get to explore all 9 in God of War Ragnarok, and that the ones we've seen before will feel new again. But without further ado, welcome to Svartalfheim, a realm that exemplifies dwarven ingenuity. I'm talking technical marvels like mine pits, artificial water channels, and sprawling cities, all setting the stage for potentially complex environmental puzzles. To navigate the new realm, we'll need to rely on Kratos' toolset, his weapons, and yes, his son, Atreus. In Svartalfheim, Kratos can freeze geysers by way of the Leviathan axe, dismantle pots with his blades of chaos, and command the boy to interact with out-of-reach devices. I spoke with 2 level designers about Svartalfheim's creation, and both talked about evolving the gameplay in larger spaces. The world and its mechanics reflect the narrative. In the reveal trailer, we watched Kratos and company use sled wolves to get from one far-off point to the next, but in less frozen areas, like Svartalfheim, we'll row down streams or through open waters in a canoe. Perhaps there will be more transportation methods, but for now, all of this suggests a journey vaster and bolder than what came before. For more on the cover story, head to our hub at GameInformer.com/GOW Ragnarok, or swing by our YouTube channel for more gameplay content.
All right, there you go. I mean, I enjoyed the God of War 2018. Thought it was good. So God of War Ragnarok will take you to the previous unreachable Vanaheim, Svartalfheim, and Asgard, as well as to new areas from locations featured in the game, says Grace or Lady. Oh yeah, and here's the cinematic video right here. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we talked about that earlier and how Elon Musk just ripped Amazon Prime's Ring of Power a new asshole by saying, "Is there no audio?" Oh, there we go. Not actual
when you are at your weakest.
In fear and doubt, are a burden too heavy to bear.
Remember this. You are not alone.
Rated M for mature.
So I can't wait for another troll boss, which probably troll boss fight number 138. So people like barbarians and other warriors overthrowing in a vast cobble lass or Asian empire. So exploring the realms will take you everywhere from verdant, otherworldly jungles to intricate subterranean mining networks. This next installment in the series will bring you a more diverse, beautiful, and mysterious variety of location than in any other God of War game. So publisher Sony recently announced the God of War Ragnarok release date of November 9th, 2022. There you go, alongside four editions of the game. Oh my gosh, come on. The title was originally planned for release last year, but Sony delayed it in 2022 to help Santa Monica Studio deliver a top-quality game while maintaining the safety and well-being of its team. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's a short article right there for you. Do you design video games? Me? No. Alrighty. Ugh. So, you wanted me to check out Nichiban's... Oh, wait, I actually had this saved. So, oh, you mean Elden Ring Road to the Erd Tree manga? Have you played Dynasty Wars? I have. So there's an Elden Ring, The Road of the Erd Tree manga is available now. An official licensed Elden Ring manga has been announced. Rather than dramatic telling of the game's story, this upcoming manga series appears to be a tongue-in-cheek parody, complete with sarcastic millennia. The series is published by Comic Walker and features art from Nikachi Tobita, who's largely known for his original gag manga, The Whimsical Cursed Sword. Combining a gritty fantasy art style with absurd and slapstick humor is his forte, and Elden Ring, The Road to the Erd Tree makes full use of their talents. So Elden Ring, yeah, we know it's the latest game from Software, which released earlier this year and has shipped over 60 million copies. Players take on the role of a nameless Tarnish on a quest to become Elden Lord, a consort of the gods. So there you go. So in case you missed it, it can be found, or you can find our thorough and spoiler-free review and video review for Elden Ring here. We also thought it's excellent and highly recommended. And it's available on Comic Walker's official website. And available in English with translation by Young Press. So there you go. There's some artwork for you. Oh, is that not opening up on your end? Whatever. So, pretty funny. And then Lucky Star. I never watched Lucky Star. Never figured Elden Ring would have a gag manga. It's pretty funny. So Lucky Star, a series which popularized the cute girls doing cute things, is finally returning after going on hiatus in 2014. The series began in 2013 and follows the daily life of four high school girls. Izumi Kanata, Miyuki Takahara, and twins Kagami and Tsukasa Hiragai. Secondary cast of characters also regularly make an appearance. Boruto. An anime from the series aired in 2007, which helped kickstart the career of voice actress Haya Hirano. Oh, she also does Haruhi. But then she got under wrap because she banged one of her bandmates or something, which who cares? I remember she was under like scrutiny for that. Return of the series was announced by C2 Kikan, who appears to have a personal relationship with Yoshimizu. Oh, that's it. It will make its redebut in Kodokawa's new magazine, Mitayana, in its third issue. Oof, that's rough for Aya. I mean, I remember hearing that a long time ago. Sweet. Alrighty. Well, I think we're going to call that for today, and then we'll go ahead and we'll continue. Again, I got sidetracked, and I haven't looked at other games to switch over to. So I'll definitely try to get on that, but we'll continue the game streaming later tonight, probably around 9. Never watched Lucky Star, but I know they made fun of Initial D. But thanks to everyone who stopped by. And again, we were on Odyssey, so I should have my Odyssey and Rumble in the description below. So follow me over there as we'll continue to multi-stream. And yeah, we're trying to get more guests, so we might have one set up. But I will be on later tonight, and that's what I had to talk about today. That's what caught my eye. So like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check out my other social medias listed below as well. And if I see you guys later tonight in playing more Pokemon, see you then. And if not, thanks for the support. Adios. Catch you on the flip side. Later.